managed to get the skid steer out and do a little bit of ripping as well. The track really should be quite good for the drop of the gate here in Moto 1. Strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. 15-second board is up. It's excitement time.
Getting set for this one, the Kawasaki MX1 Moto 1. Do we see Dean Ferris with his so familiar good whole shot starts? Can Beaton get out fast? Does Webster rebound after a tough round one?
Looked like Ferris got a good jump, and I will try to pick up. It looked like Tanti. I don't think that Jed Beaton got the best of starts. He's back in about 6th place. What a start from Tanti. Up the inside, Wilson Todd.
Great to see Wilson Todd up there. He had some fast laps earlier in the day. Tanti right there as well to the inside. The dust flying from that turn number 1. There is Beaton. He's already up to 4th. Where is Webster? I thought he was up there, back there in about 6th or 7th.
Wilson Todd comes through. Aaron Tanti slingshotting around the outside. Liam Jackson, what a start from the privateer on board the Honda machine. Incredible start.
In 3rd at the moment to the inside of Tanti, up and over, but wasting no time. A great run around the outside was the 14 machine of Beaton. As we see Webster joining the party, the MXGP of Darwin Whole Shot Award. Wilson Todd,
Webster gone down. Webster has gone down a high side through that freshly cleaned up muddy corner. He has tipped it over.
So is Regan Duffy all the way back there. I saw Todd Waters is way back in the mix as well. A lot of work ahead of him as the Honda riders now start to move forwards. The number 8 machine is up there as well. This is great to see for them. There is Ferris, sits there in 6th place.
It's a disaster for the Kyle Webster fans. He needs to make up some points on his arch rival, and he has got his work cut out for him now. Already, have a look at the pace from Webster. From Jed Beaton, trying to make his way up the inside of Wilson Todd.
The guy's looking for some lines with that work on the track. Those lines that they may have thought were there are just not there at the moment. So a lot of work for these riders to figure out a track that is really not offering a lot of options around at least half of the track. But Beaton looking to get this pass made early. Good run out of this corner. You'll have the inside stays low.
Beautiful scrub there. Can he find some space here? He doesn't want to force the issue too much, but he does. What a calculated move there. That was just textbook.
There wasn't space there, but somehow Beaton, we have watched him on rails around that corner all day long. Straight to the back wheel of our race leader. Aaron Tanti knows he's got a fight on his hand at the moment, because this guy in 2nd, make that 1st, is absolutely lightning fast in this track.
Yeah, I was going to say, if Tanti has got his thinking cap on, he is going to try to latch on to the back of Jed Beaton. He's not going to try to do anything silly for his teammate here, but he could possibly get dragged along. Outside leg off for Jed Beaton. These lines are just not coming together at the moment. This track is proving to be so tough.
Beaton a glance across to the left, saw his teammate there, gave him plenty of room. The 2 riders up front, it's great to see Tanti with this kind of form early. He's been quick in qualifying. He is showing it right now. There's no fluke. He is here to fight for this one. In 2nd at the moment, and a good ride by Wilson Todd, still in 3rd, only just out of camera shot at the moment, but right in there.
Yeah, what's your opinion, Danny, on how Tanti should handle this? Almost like take a deep breath. Don't try to fight Beaton. Try to maybe pick up on the smoothness where he's rolling it on and see if you can get dragged along here.
Absolutely. Best way to approach this. Needs to do that. Not to the inside like we saw that short line many, many times. How about Webster? He is really caught back up. He was on the ground.
How has he done this so quickly? Kyle Webster is on a flyer at the moment. Oh! Tanti almost going down, but somehow manages to keep it on 2 wheels, but he has dropped straight down now into the face of a battle between 2 Hondas. He has got to be careful or he'll get swallowed up.
Okay, you want to know how it's done? Our race leader pulled a 142.1. Kyle Webster just did a 140.2. He is doing qualifying pace at the moment after that crash. He knows the urgency that is required to get these passes made. He needs no mistakes.
All right, let's watch him as he comes out here, hugs the inside. Finds it wrong place at the wrong time there. No Todd there.
Wilson Todd certainly could have made that pass instantly in that spot, but just allowed these guys to get up and going again. Great battle starting to ensue between these two. Craig Dack watching on. He looks a little bit tense at the moment with Tanti there in second. Actually, now Tanti's in third. The pass has been made.
Right, brilliant little pass up the inside there. And there was a lot going on in front of Kyle Webster there. Tanti had made a couple of massive boo-boos right in front of him. He was almost just going, right, which way is he going to go here? Now things can settle down a little bit, and the two big hitters, they can start to stabilise. They can start to see where each other's lap times are. How many laps do you think these two have done together in this scenario around the practice track?
So many. They know exactly each other's riding style, what is to be expected. I feel right now that we will start to see that pace lift from Jed Beaton, especially if he gets a lap board saying that second place is Webster. Moving back a little further, there is the number 3 of Nathan Crawford around Zachary Watson.
All right, so Danny, just talking about lap time, stabilise that time, 141.3 for Jed Beaton, 141.8 for Kyle Webster. So basically a half a second there, not too much in it as we see the first of Nathan Crawford on the red machine. Number 3 on the back of the jersey there, and he finds himself in 6th place at the moment. Time for a quick break. We will be back very soon. Welcome back to the Penrite Pro MX Championship presented by AMX Superstores. Here comes our race leader, already putting laps down on some of these riders.
Crazy to see the pace that he's got out front. 5 seconds, 4.5, a little bit of a hold up there, then back to Webster Tanti. What was interesting is we just got a shot a second ago of Wilson Todd, Nathan Crawford, Zach Watson, all getting bunched up together. In fact, Zach Watson was the fastest out of those three the last lap around. Those two boys in front of Wilson Todd, Nathan Crawford, both of them have roll-offs on. Both of them have issues with those roll-offs. They're going to have no vision very, very soon. So that battle is going to heat up pretty quick. Not much between those three riders.
Well, what we're seeing at the moment is we take a little bit of a look here up in the smaller box. Our number 82, Elijah Weesey, he's on the side of the track. He's had some kind of drama there. Looks like got a flat tyre, unfortunately for Elijah, the South Australian. But Danny, I was just about to point out, it's like we have two groups amongst what we're seeing here. Our first three, Beaton, Webster, Tanti, they were 40s or 41s for that last lap. And then we step down to Wilson Todd, Crawford, Watson. They're all in the 43s or the 42s.
Beaton 11.3 seconds. Interestingly, look back there, Webster, Tanti is closed down just a little bit. It's still that gap, a comfortable gap, but man, Tanti is having the ride of the year so far as well. Back there in third place at the moment, he is looking pretty solid.
Yeah, like we said earlier on, wasn't it? It was a case of can Tanti just try to get dragged along by Beaton for a little bit. And what I meant by that, little bit of a sketchy moment. Needs to be careful because from what I can see is that Tanti that's just starting to know. It was a lap rider. I thought, okay, we've got some pressure cooker moments here about to happen for Kyle Webster. But no, I think he's just trying to figure out, what am I doing here? Am I going to try to unleash some kind of a challenge and put some lap time pressure onto Jed Beaton? Or are we going to try to circulate around here in second, see if we can get some good points and then try to turn things around for the next moto?
I would think that's the approach now. It's too deep into this one to try anything out there. As we see, there's Tanti, I think, in the back of shot now. So these guys, second and third, still comfortable. Those times on the left-hand side still say Todd and Crawford are just bar to bar at the moment. Watson has dropped off the pace though, so he's fallen back and not in amongst that fight anymore. There is Crawford back there in fifth place. Those roll-offs completely torn away now, so it must have been bothering him and got rid of them.
It's looking pretty comfy on the Honda, I must say. He wouldn't have had too much time to set the bike up suspension-wise. I guarantee he's not running factory or A-kit stuff like the senior team. So, like I said, there's nothing quite like the power of, you know, trying to get out and show people what I can do, that little bit of anger or whatever has transpired. We don't know the full story. I don't think we're ever going to know the full story. But as we can see, he's climbing up on board the back wheel of the SCT Logistics Factory Honda Senior Team Rider.
In saying that though, Wilson Todd has had this pressure for more than 6, 7, 8 laps at the moment, and he's holding strong. He has not let that gap really change too much. We've only got 2 minutes left in this. Is this going to the moment that Nathan Crawford turns it up and tries to put a dive in over this next lap to try and see if he can make this pass?
This really is a race of roll-off films, isn't it? It's a battle of survival for them. How many sets of roll-offs have we seen the film just flapping out the back of the helmet?
2 separate lines for the Honda riders. Crawford a little bit wider. Both of them into the same line there. However, a mistake by Wilson Todd. Manages to turn out of it not too bad. But for a very brief moment, it looked like Crawford was getting close to the back wheel. Crawford's fast down this particular part of the track. See, reach up there to try and clear some vision. There's nothing there.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't it Wilson Todd and Nathan Crawford that had history all those years ago in MX2 at Wonthaggi?
Yes.
In the right-hander, 2 turns to go before the finish. So how much motivation did 2 riders need to be able to get in amongst it and sharpen the elbows up? What a passing move from Nathan Crawford, but he makes a mistake. What are we going to see now from Wilson Todd when he realises who it was that just came past?
Both riders to the inside. Todd trying everything to try and get that pass made back, but Crawford hanging strong. Like I said, this is the lap that he kind of needs to turn it up. In the back part of the track, he was very strong, and being able to make that pass.
Yeah, there's only 30 seconds to go plus a lap. So obviously by this time, Beaton's already well and truly gone past the finish line area. So we've still got a couple of laps to go.
Kawasaki rides. Second last time for these guys. Wilson Todd has not been able to respond at the moment. So they kind of put a lap down on the 72 machine. Oh, listen to Wilson Todd on the limiter, trying to get that pass made.
Well, that was Regan Duffy that was
Regan Duffy, yep.
Put a lap down, and a little bit of valve bouncing, a bit of rev limiter action there for Wilson Todd, and I think it's finally now the horns have sort of started to come out, and we could well and truly have a race on our hands for the last couple of laps here.
He's going to need to be a bit closer, especially in this part of the track. This is where Crawford was so fast, closed down that last lap, and ultimately what led to the pass at the end of this straight. He's dropping off again. Crawford reaching up to try and get some vision. It's not there.
Now we've only got a 2.7, scratch that, 1.8 second gap from Webster back to Tanti. Tanti is edging away at this gap.
Do we see Tanti steal away those points in the very final lap as we see it right now? It's on screen. Tanti is right there. Webster has been held up by some lapped riders as they roll around to the right of shot. Up and over the tabletop towards the finish line. Get the last lap board this time.
Hard landing there for Kyle Webster. Up and over the finish. And a hard-charging Tanti in tow. Does he have anything for this final lap? I think it's going to make a mistake. One thing you can normally bank on is that Webster is not going to run out of energy. That's never going to happen. It's a comfort thing. This track is one of the most torturous tracks that we have come across in a long time.
The left-hander executed beautifully that time by Webster. To the right, where he had dramas early in this moto, gets through there, okay. Tanti a little bit better in closing in. You can see Tanti can see that he has a chance here. He is absolutely throwing everything at it. Across the tabletop, he needs to get a good run here, stay nice and low.
He's feeling it, isn't he? He's absolutely charging, and he's a stone's throw away now. We have got some of the toughest, most technical parts of the track coming up, where line choice is critical.
and no mistakes. It's what it's going to take right now for both of these guys for the outcome of this race as our race leader heads towards the checkered flag. This has been an incredible run for the number 14.
Beautiful line, so smooth, so comfortable. The confidence is so easy to see. Coming into the second last turn, putting lapped riders out of the way. What a race it has been. Wasn't from a whole shot, he had to pass some people, but the speed is undeniable. Tick that off, 3 wins from 3 starts in 2026. Race 1 winner of the Kawasaki MX1 class, Jed Beaton. What an effort. Second place for Kyle Webster. He had to fight for that one. He had some issues at the start of the race. It's super impressive from Aaron Tanti. He is back. Let's take a look at